That, though, comments made by Tony Blair about race relations in our country are causing a bit of controversy tonight. The Prime Minister says it's our duty to integrate and that we should focus on the common ground, not the differences. He also announced there'll be less funding for religious and racial groups. Joining us tonight is Mohammed Shafiq from one of those groups, the Ramadhan Foundation in Rochdale. Welcome, Mohammed. Were you funded by that kind of money, your organisation?
We weren't. I wish we were, but we weren't.
So you're not going to be missing the funding. What kind of groups are, do you think?
Well, I spoke to after the Prime Minister's speech this afternoon, I spoke to number 10's press officer to find out what was happening and which groups they were. The Prime Minister's official spokesman isn't aware of which groups they're involved. The Home Office isn't aware. And what this shows is that the government are making these announcements without any substance.
Let's get this clear. You rang the Prime Minister's office to find out the groups he said shouldn't have the cash that we've handed out. His quotes were too easily handed out to organisations tightly bonded around religious, racial or ethical identities. You tried to identify these groups and number 10 didn't know what the groups were.
Yes.
How do you react to that? Baffling, isn't it?
It's baffling, but I suppose this is what you get under this government. We've had 10 years of numerous headline-grabbing initiatives. When it comes to substance, there is no substance. I feel that the Prime Minister has made a big mistake when he starts to target minority communities in a way he has in his speech. OK,
so what about his remarks then that immigrants have a, quote, duty to integrate?
Absolutely. I've always said, and I've come on your programme many times, and I've said integration is essential. But at the same time, we have to look at the responsibilities of the majority community. Why is it that the Prime Minister and the government is focusing on minorities all the time? Why aren't questions being asked about the majority community and their relationship and their integration with the minority communities?
Because I would imagine that the Prime Minister is reflecting what he feels is a view in Britain, which is that the disruption and the unrest caused by the minority communities prejudice people's views of the majority. Fair?
Well, I think what the Prime Minister is doing is subjecting himself to a realisation that the New Labour project is towards its end of its life cycle. And secondly, Labour Party voters are switching not to the Liberal Democrats and the Conservatives, but to the BNP. And the senior Prime Minister going further to the right is a way to try to recapture some of those Middle England votes.
So the vote switching to the BNP, how do you, as an Asian man and the Ramadhan Foundation, react to that? Does that worry you?
It worries me extremely, but I think in the end what needs to happen is we need to have responsible governments that talk about the real issues that face our nation. We have to deal with issues of terrorism, we have to deal with issues of extremism. But
well, Mr Blair said today it brought it into sharp focus. 7/7 brought the issue of, of multiculturalism into sharp focus. What do you think he meant by that?
Well, I mean, that's a question you're going to have to put to him. The Prime Minister only 12 months ago was asking us what was the success and what was the purpose of multiculturalism. Today he was praising the multiculturalism. So, I won't take any lectures from the Prime Minister about multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is a success in this country. It's something which I value, it's something which Britain values, and it makes us a unique nation in the international community.
Mohammed, thanks for your time.
Thank you.